Greetings and welcome, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, to Black World TV, the new black media, your black and intelligent news source. Black World TV. Alright, family, so if you haven't been living under a rock or having your head in the sand, by now you've heard the fallout between Nick Cannon and Viacom, how they fired him from his show for some alleged anti-Semitic comments on his podcast. Well, Nick Cannon demands full ownership of Wild 'N Out, and he says ViacomCBS is simply on the wrong side of history. And I have to agree with Nick Cannon. I stand with Nick Cannon 110%. So actor and TV host Nick Cannon has struck back at ViacomCBS hours after he was dropped by the media giant for making alleged anti-Semitic comments on his podcast. Cannon has asked for ownership of his MTV and VH1 series Wild 'N Out, as well as an apology from the company. Right on, Nick. In a lengthy statement posted to his Facebook page early Wednesday, Cannon wrote, quote, "If I have furthered the hate speech, I wholeheartedly apologize. But now I am the one making demands. I demand full ownership of my billion-dollar Wild 'N Out brand that I created. And they will continue to misuse and destroy without my leadership. I demand that the hate and backdoor bullying cease. And while we're at it, now that the truth is out, I demand the apology. Explanation point. Fist in the air, Nick Cannon." In the post, which is titled Truth and Reconciliation, Cannon began by noting he is, quote, "deeply saddened in a moment so close to reconciliation that the powers that be misused an important moment for us to all grow closer together and learn more about one another. Quote, "Instead, the moment was stolen and hijacked to make an example of an outspoken black man. Well, I will not be bullied, silenced, or continuously oppressed by any organization, group, or corporation. I am disappointed that Viacom does not understand or respect the power of the black community," he continued. Wow, Nick Cannon is laying it out. He continues, "The former alleges that ViacomCBS recently banned, quote, all advertisement that supported George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, who we are still seeking justice for," unquote. Wow. So he's saying that ViacomCBS has banned all advertisement that supported George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, who we're still seeking justice for. So you see, this company, ViacomCBS, I don't know who they're owned and operated by, but I can tell you one thing. I stand with my brother Nick Cannon, because I can tell already you're a racist organization and media giant. If you're doing that alone, you're telling me that all black lives don't matter. And you're lying to the people, ViacomCBS. So it continues. Cannon also claims he personally reached out to ViacomCBS chair Shari Redstone to have a conversation of reconciliation and actually apologize if I said anything that pained or hurt her or her community, and received no response. Well, let me stop right there for a second, family, because all I can say is that in that moment and in that instance, I'm sure Nick Cannon, as a black man, felt that he was doing the right thing, but these people don't deserve that. They do not deserve that. They have disrespected, insulted, and otherwise oppressed black people far too long. We don't owe any apologies. We don't owe any apologies. But let me continue. ViacomCBS claims that Cannon did not attempt to connect with Redstone. Quote, "It is absolutely untrue that Nick Cannon reached out to the chair of ViacomCBS," unquote, a ViacomCBS spokesperson told Variety. That's not even important. But of course you guys are deflecting and making that such a big deal. But I continue. In regards to the claim about ads related to the deaths of Floyd and Taylor, the ViacomCBS rep directly directed Variety to a statement in a July 12th Wall Street Journal story. July 12th, in which a company spokesperson said that the ad block was related to a show called Revenge Prank, and that, quote, "we didn't want to be insensitive by placing ads for it next to important and serious topics such as Black Lives Matter. This is standard practice we use with our media agency to ensure that our ads don't come across as tone deaf or disrespectful," unquote. Well, Cannon goes on to list his achievements over the last 20 years, including executive producing and hosting Fox's The Masked Singer. Quote, "My hope and original goal was to use this moment to show healing and acceptance, and prayed that Viacom would use their powers for good. Instead, I am now receiving death threats, hate messages calling me an ungrateful N-word, and beyond," said Cannon, who was retweeting messages of support from fans as well as critics calling him the N-word well into the early hours of Wednesday. Viacom's goal to keep me from providing for my family and lineage will be foiled. They can try to kick me while I'm down or force me to kiss the master's feet in public for shame and ridicule, but instead I stand firm on my square with my fist in the air, repeating my mantra, "You can't fire a boss." Right on, Nick Cannon. In his statement, Cannon also highlighted an outpouring of love and support from the Jewish community, noting he has spoken with rabbis, clergy, professors, and co-workers who have offered to help him. Quote, "I am excited to announce that I have been invited to Israel, which is a lifelong dream where I will receive teachings, lessons, and truth about the Jewish history," said Cannon. Quote, "As someone who is in pursuit from my PhD in theology and divinity, and just received a degree in criminal justice from the great Howard University, this will be an enriching, enlightening, and overall exciting trip." unquote. A Viacom CBS spokesperson confirmed on Tuesday that it was severing ties with Cannon after it emerged that the performer had said on his podcast that black people are the true Hebrews, which is totally true and correct. And see, you Europeans, you don't want to hear the truth, but the truth will set you free. The problem is you've been bombarded with so much lies, half-truths, and flat out just fabrications that you don't want to believe the truth when it's presented to you. But this is 2020, the year of clarity. 2020. Connect the dots. So you can't stop the truth from being told no matter what you do. Whether you stop a video from being shown or whatever, we're going to talk in the streets. We're going to shout from the highest mountaintops who we truly are. You guys, white people, this government, you've done everything in your power to stop black people from knowing who we truly are. You are at fault, not us. You are the one that's the problem, not us. You owe us everything. That's why we're continuously and will continue to demand for reparations. That's not going away. It hasn't fallen off the table. But I digress. It says that they severed ties with Cannon after it emerged that the performer had said on his podcast that black people are the true Hebrews, in addition to discussing alleged anti-Semitic conspiracy theories involving the Rothschild family. Oh boy, we've heard that name before. Are you people so above the law that everything that other people say, that you even get your little feelings hurt? You get your little feelings hurt and you stop people from talking because somebody says something about your name? You guys have paper thin skin. Paper thin skin is so true and correct. That's how you are when you have a lack of melanin. You act just like that. That's truthful, and you want to turn it around and make it like it's a problem. No, it's a problem only for you. Only for you. But I digress. ViacomCBS condemns bigotry of any kind. Yeah, but every time black people have to constantly see us being ridiculed, insulted, and everything else under the sun on your media networks and platforms all the time, but yet you sit there and say that you condemn bigotry, you're liars. But I'm going to continue reading this. It says that you condemn bigotry. It says that of any kind. And we categorically denounce all forms of alleged anti-Semitism. We have spoken with Nick Cannon about an episode of this podcast, Cannon's Class on YouTube, which promoted alleged hateful speech and spread alleged anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, said the company in a statement shared with Variety. Well, family, the reason why it sounded that way as I was reading this because I added my own words. Because see, one thing I'm not going to go along with white media is I'm not going to repeat the bullshit that they try to feed to you. See, they add their little spin on how they want to word things. I'm not going to do that for them. No, I refuse to. So, lastly, it says, quote, while we support ongoing education and dialogue in the fight against bigotry, we are deeply troubled that Nick has failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating alleged anti-Semitism, and we are terminating our relationship with him. So what? We are committed to doing better in our response to incidents of alleged anti-Semitism, racism, and bigotry. You guys are such liars. ViacomCBS will have further announcements. Nobody cares. I'm done with this. Family, that's all I'm going to have for this. But all I can say is I'm proud of Nick Cannon. He didn't do like Snoop Dogg. He didn't come back and start, apologizing and doing that little cleanup that they all do. Nick Cannon didn't do that. I applaud you, Nick Cannon. You're a true example of a black man. There's others too, just like you. Hashtag in fact.